Right, just in case you've never seen one of these before, my name is Paul. I do the Daily Teaser Quiz. I write Knickknacks Old Peculiar, the world's most monotonously boring blog, and I also do a lot of other bits, bobs, stuff, and silliness, which you've probably already worked out seeing as I'm on YouTube. At any rate, in amongst everything else, I do TV reviews of individual episodes of television I've enjoyed, purely because I like sharing that sort of thing. Just over the past few weeks, I've been watching the fifth series of Apple TV's For All Mankind. I got as far as episode 8 just recently, Brave New World, and I wanted to tell you what I thought and what I saw. This is a review. Episode 8, Brave New World, opens with news reports showing us that Kelly Baldwin, Cynthia Wu, and her team have landed on Titan and are getting ready to go exploring. The scene then shifts to show us Ilya the barman telling Martian leader Miles Dale, Tony Kebbell,
that someone
wishes to talk. Someone that turns out to be Irina Morozova and Governor Leonid Polovanov, Svetlana Efremova, and Kosta Ronin, who have news for Miles. One is good news. The USSR is expecting a change in leadership, and if Mars can hold on until after this, the Martians are going to be in a better negotiating position. Two, the M6 nations that govern Mars are sending an invasion force. So what did I see in this episode? What on Earth, or on Mars in this case, can I tell you about it? I've said it before and will no doubt say it again that this series of For All Mankind is very good at human drama, a lot better at political drama and tension, and very good at sheer dramatic tension, human, political, or just plain otherwise. Brave New World in particular is very good with the dramatic tension, starting with a scene early on that sees Miles telling a skeptical Aleida about the information he's received. Aleida telling him she's skeptical, only for her team at Mission Control to spot the incoming shipload of Marines that's heading right for the asteroid that's the source of Mars's wealth. There's equally tense scenes later in the episodes. Celia, Morelanos, and Leonard are piloting several barrels of high explosive to Kuznetsov Station, the asteroid mine's port, when they have to restart the engine of their ship in mid-flight without crashing and without setting on the bombs sitting a yard away. Later in the episode, a pair of the invading Marines, Avery and Marcus, Inez Assassin and Barrett Hanahan, have to flee the station before those self-same bombs go off. The two scenes genuinely had me on the edge of my damn seat. Not exactly comfortable, I'll tell you that. If you're going to ask me, though, about tense episodes of For All Mankind, I'm going to point you at Brave New World. There's other areas to cover, I think. You've noticed I've mentioned explosives, haven't you? Towards the start of the episode, and at a meeting of the Provisional Council running Happy Valley, Miles has to deliver the bad news that the M6 nations are launching a sneak attack and that the Council has to do something. Their decision is to blow the landing pads at Kuznetsov Station to prevent the M6 nations seizing control of the vital iridium. The only explosive they can make of ones from the only ingredients available are from ammonium nitrate and hydrazines, or, in other words, extremely sensitive fertilizer bombs used in the real world by the likes of the Provisional IRA. My overwhelming memory of part of this episode, though, is not of a council plotting to make improvised explosives, but it's of a final shot of the staff of Mission Control, saddened by the subsequent deaths of enemy troops at their hands, saddened and guilt-ridden as well. It's a nicely shot and acted scene, But there's something that bothered me about the episode, about these scenes. I grew up during the Troubles, the period in British history when Northern Ireland was quite literally a bloody war zone. I am not, thankfully, in the province itself. I am in the southeast England, and in a part of the southeast with no army barracks, no government facilities that would attract the attention of paramilitaries. Paramilitaries who would, depending on the campaign, give phone warnings to relevant authorities. That's the issue that troubles me, is that beyond the panicked improvised warning given by Celia, no formal warnings were given by either side to the other. Yes, I know this is fictional military action in a fictional setting that is not obliged necessarily to base itself on real-world military or paramilitary actions. Nonetheless, seeing fictional fighters not giving a warning, not doing something real-world paramilitaries did, is something that frankly stuck in my craw. There's a death in the metaphorical family right at the end of the episode. At the climax of Brave New World, we see a pair of Marines, Avery Jarrett and Manuel Ruiz, Keith Miller, desperately fleeing the station when they realise the place has been mined, basically. They're fleeing by dragging themselves along a cable tethered to Lord knows what, only for Ruiz, in the lead, to be killed by shrapnel from the explosion. Now, normally, I would expect his fellow soldiers to not have hysterics at the sight of a colleague killed in front of them. I'd expect the squaddy to sit on the trauma until they get back to base, can do the needed paperwork and reporting, and then have hysterics and seek whatever psychiatric and physical treatment is needed and available. At least that's what I'd expect of an
Experienced
soldier. I would expect them to be able to cope with their feelings until they can safely vent their shock and grief. But that's me quite ignorantly forgetting that even though Avery Jarrett has done well in training, even though she's a corporal, even though she's expected to do well in the field itself, she is young, she is inexperienced, and she's just seen a comrade killed in front of her for the very first time. The fact that the episode ends with her screams makes for quite a traumatic finish. So, with all of that said and excitingly done, what did I make of episode 8 of For All Mankind's 5th series of Brave New World? Bloody hell, that was a good episode. That really was. I've said several times now that an on-form For All Mankind can do dramatic tension like no other series. Svoboda springs to mind here, as does No Sudden Move, both from this series. There's also the Series 1 episode Into the Abyss. Look up my review if you get the chance. But Brave New World is one of the most tense episodes of For All Mankind I've seen, certainly in this 5th series. Frankly, I am impressed with it. I'm going to be looking forward to the next episode, Sons and Daughters, in the hope episode 9 can keep up the pace. Brave New World is one hell of an episode. After that much whittering about, that is where I'm going to be leaving things, having watched the most tense episode of For All Mankind Series 5 to date. When I watch Sons and Daughters next week, I'm hopefully going to see an episode that is just as tense, just as dark, and nowhere near as cheesy as the Australian soap it shares its name with. Go look up the theme tune, it really is the height of 70s. Jeez! Beyond that, don't even go there. In the meantime, feel free to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Feel free to tip the thingamydoodles in the corner there. Feel free to try the daily teasers. And if you like what I'm doing, feel free to come back next week to see what I thought of the next episode. I will see you then. And until then, I will say have fun, be good, take care, and be seeing you.